In today's class, we're going to discuss about session initiation protocol, some example formats, and SIP name translation, and user location, SIP registrar, and SIP proxy, and examples and setup, and how to use setup. So that I have to going to cover in this class. So examples of SIP message consent, as you know, that is a session initiation protocol. So as the invite message is sent by the caller and between the caller is and callee is agreed messages. So then only caller has been set up and conversation is possible. So here, so what is exactly the SIP message, invite message? It is a detail about invite messages I'm going to discuss in today's class. So invite message is the SIP, it is exactly the sender is sending. So assume that it is a invite is a session initiation protocol. So invited, so Alice is invited the Bob. So the Bob, it is a Bob at the domain.com. It is a, so that is a Bob at, so Bob is, so which computer is a domain.com is nothing but which computer is in, so the computer address, that is a domain address, that is exactly, so which, so at the rate of, so that is a IP address, domain address is nothing but IP address is typing here, so domain.com, or it is just like email, so yahoo.com, domain.com, which, so that is exactly your registered, so gmail.com, so yahoo.com, like at the rate of where exactly registered. So that is a callee where exactly registered. So is so the user credentials. So that is exactly the Bob at the rate of domain.com. SIP so 2.0 version normally it is a session initiation protocol version is 2.0 indicates. So so this is exactly it is sended there is a version 2.0. This it that is a, so what type of connection is established between the caller and callee? So that is Alice and Bob here, the two communicating parties. So UDP is the, so user datagram protocol is established. So it is exactly connectionless protocol. So and also the IP address of the senders. So exactly, so what is exactly the IP address of the sender? So it is exactly, it is telling here. So IP address is indicates. So from is nothing but, so it is a Alice is the, so the sender. So it is a, so as and when just like your so IP address. So here Alice at hereway.com. So he is registered under hereway.com. It is just like yahoo.com. So where exactly your sign up procedures has been done. So similarly here Alice is registered under domain hereway.com. Again, it is a Bob is two. So to whom exactly your connectivity has been established. So it is Alice and Bob are the two communicating parties. Alice is registered under the hereway.com. Here the Bob. So it is the, so callee. So that is a 2%. So Bob is registered under particular domain.com. So one domain, it is a domain.com only. Here call ID. So what is the ID of the, so caller? So it is displayed here. So caller is always it is a, so Alice is a invited person. So it is a caller ID is also like this. So hereby.com, it is a ID, some ID is given. So here content type, what content type is so the type of the content is, so content type is application or STP. It is a session, so that is a developed content only. It is application. What type of content is, so application type. So content length, what is the length of the content? It is a 885. So that is in terms of bytes only. So here, so that is a C in. So that is exactly, so the C is the, so person how connection is established. So IN and IP version IP4. So version 4, it is the IP address of the, so the Alice 161, so 167, so 180, 112.24 and audio encoding format. It is exactly, and so what is the audio encoding? The format is available 38060. That is the audio encoding format with the RTP. So real-time protocol. It is exactly showing here. So here So we don't the Bob's IP address. It is an intermediate. The SIP server is needed. So exactly it is a. So we don't know about the Bob IP address. So one intermediate server is so definitely it is needed. So this is exactly so it is just bobdomain.com. If you send it is a given dynamic IP address. Suppose if it is IP address don't know about the so the Bob IP address don't know so to the so Alice at that time, intermediate server is gives the one dynamic IP address. So to the Bob IP address will get back to the Alice very easily. So once it is a dynamic IP address is provided by the intermediate servers. So definitely, so Alice is identified very easily. So what is the Bob IP address? Again, Alice sends the receive message, SIP messages using the SIP default port numbers. So with the help of port number, so Alice sends the receives the SIP messages. So what is the port number? Default used by the Alice. It is nothing but it is a so 506. So Alice specific specifiers. So it is a header that SIP client sends and receives the SIP message over the UDP. So Alice also specify the header. So that so SIP client has been sent. So this is a SIP client is nothing but is Alice. Alice is the sender. So it is a client machine line. So it is a server is a it is a intermediate servers is used. So by a dynamic IP, it is assigned by the intermediate server. It is just like a proxy server we can use as an intermediate server. So I will explain you what is a SIP proxy will do. So again, it is an IP address. It is, does not know. So again, Bob IP address does not know. Intermediate server it is provide the IP address. So it is receives the SIP messages so over the protocol. So to establish the call management between so caller and callee, that is Alice and Bob. So with the help of UDP protocol, it is a connectionless protocol. So here, so HTTP message syntax, so they will follow. It is a session, STP is nothing but here we are using the STP. So STP is the session description protocol. So this is the session description protocol. A call ID. So it is nothing but it is a unique ID for every call. Every call, there is a unique ID will generate like this. So it is a hereway.com. So for the established the call between the so the Alice and Bob, one unique ID is provided. This is the we can identify. So which person is conversation, which communicating parties are converse with each other. So we can identify with this call ID. So it is a unique ID for every call. So name translation and user allocation. So next slide is, so a discussion is, so callers want to a callee. So here caller so wants to know about so who is exactly so call to a callee. So caller so transfer so conversation with the callee. So again the sender is communicate with the receiver, but only as a caller's name or email address. So once we know the which domain name, caller's name means domain name is registered or it is a email address is available. So then only we can able to so establish the call between the caller and callee. So otherwise it is a very difficult. Otherwise we cannot able to get a establishment of a call management is not possible. So we need to get IP address of the caller's current host, which host is using. So we can get the IP address so to the of calling. So again, it is a user one. So user Alice. So want to get the IP address of the so Bob. Then only it is established the call. Without IP address, we cannot able to establish for the internet. So again, users are moves around. So because users are so even it is a so we cannot expect so he's in one place. So he may be moving around. It is roaming around from one place to other place. So users moves around the place so that dynamic host configuration protocol, DHCP protocol, it is a so required so dynamically. So what is this protocol will do? So dynamically assign some dynamic IP address will assign immediately. So if it is don't have any IP address sometime so to the so any callee so immediately so with the help of this protocol so dynamic DHCP server will immediately assign IP address. So even though it is in roaming, so assign the IP address, dynamic IP address. So to that, so it is those who are having, so that is IP address is not available. So that is a static IP address is not available. Dynamic IP address is provided by the DHCP server. So here the user has a different IP devices, even is a PC, smartphones, car device. So whatever the device it may be, IP device to be anything. So even it is a personal computers or it is a smartphone or mobile phones are used. So even car devices having a just like a work like a PC, again personal computers, even car in the within the inside the car. So there is a car devices are available that having an internet connectivity. So definitely we can use as a personal computers like or smartphone like. So we can also use have a capability. So is a whatever the device it may be, but IP address of that. So that is a receiver. So should be no. So IP address or it is an email address. If you know, definitely establish the call. So that is a and also result can be based on the time of a day. So work, home, work, whether it is a time of day means it is a, whether it is a, he is in the work, he or she in the work. So and also so establish the call. So connect the caller and wants to call with the callee. So wherever he may be. So whether it is in work, whether it is in the office, whether it is in the home. So whatever the time, so we can establish the call. So definitely we can make a call even during the professional work also, even in the home also we can establish the call. And also callers don't want boss. So I don't want boss to call you at home. So caller is nothing but so the Alice is a caller. Assume that so you don't want to make a bossism to the when I call you at home. So you cannot make a bossism. You are in a home, so why you are not in office or professional work. So like that you cannot color. So it is because so IP address it is not getting so immediately. So he's in the home like he's thinking he cannot because it is IP address wherever it is roaming. So whether it is a home, whether it is office. So we can dynamic with the help of DHCP protocol or a DHCP server will provide the IP address, dynamic IP address. So don't want the boss to call. So you at home and status of calling. So calls sent voice mail when the caller is already talking to someone. So what is the status of calling? It is whether it is a line is busy or rejecting the call. It is the status of calling. So whether it is a receiver can able to accept your call. So or it is a calls send the voicemail also. So when Kali is already it is talking to someone, it is line is busy. So even voicemail also. So you can able to send so to the caller to the Kali. So even the Kali is busy. So while talking with someone, that is provision is available. So SIP registers, registrars are available. What is the function of these SIP server? It is a registrar are available. When the Bob is a receiver, it is start the SIP client. So that is a client. It sends a SIP registrar. Always it is a Alice. Alice is a client. It is a sends the SIP registrar here. So message to the Bob register server. So here it is a Bob registrar server. It is always client sends the SIP register messages. So what is the register messages is contains. So again, so here, so register messages, so the Bob having a register messages, here client is sends the SIP register messages. So what is the SIP register message contains? So you see that, so again, when the Bob is starts the SIP client. So who is exactly a client? It is Alice is the client. When the Bob starts, so it is talking with the SIP client. So what is the so it is the client is sends. So client is sends to the SIP register messages. So to the Bob register server. So here Bob register one of the Bob register server is nothing but a SIP server. So that is used by the Bob. So here it is what is the register message contains register messages. So this is exactly domain. Again, it is a so the domain.com. It is used by the Bob. Again, it is a the domain of the SIPs registrar. So with the version 2.0. So via this is the UDP protocol and this is the Bob. So that is the IP address of the Bob. Again, it is from who is exactly the SIP. So Bob is a domain name. So Bob is registered. So Bob is communicating to that. So that is a Bob servers. Okay. So the client Bob. So when the Bob starts a SIP client, so it is just like a SIP client. Is a Bob itself is a client. Client it sends the so is the servers. These messages. Bob register a server. So this is the Bob is it is from is the bobdomain.com where exactly is registering again to the bobdomain.com. So, for Bob register, Bob is a client. So Bob itself is a client. Bob is so now it is kind of expire. So that is how long it is communicating to the server. So up to 3,000. So 3,600 second. So that is exactly the time. So time lifetime it is getting back. Okay. Here, SIP proxy. Another function is a SIP server. It is a proxy server. So here, so the SIP server is a proxy. So that is a servers. So another function of the SIP proxy. So Alice sends the invite message to her proxy servers. Even Alice also. So invite messages. So it is not reached directly to the. So it is a Bob. It is always via proxy server. It is an intermediate server. So it is a Alice. So invite messages to to the proxy server it is sent. So it is contains the address proxy servers. So bob at domain.com it is available. So it is a address contains the address in the proxy server. Definitely it contains the address so of the bob at domain.com. So proxy server it is responsible for routing the SIP messages to the callee and possibly through the multiple proxies. And Bob sends the response back to the same at the SIP proxies, and so Bob send a response messages back through the so set of SIP proxies only. Even proxy servers returns the Bob response message, SIP response message to that. So proxy server definitely return back to the Bob's SIP response messages to the so whatever the Bob SIP responses messages will be sent. So that will be returned back to the so proxy server to the Alice. So to the Alice so computers or so whatever the IP device it may be used, whether it is a smartphone, whether it is a desktop, it is returns the messages. So it is a contains the Bob IP address. It is a SIP proxies. So analogous to the local DNS servers plus TCP setup. So again, it is a SIP proxy servers also requires local DNS servers also, and TCP setup is required. So then only so proxy server it is exactly it is working. So it is an intermediate server between Alice and Bob. Exactly, it is a so connectivity is established. So now, how exactly this setup is required? So you see an example. How? So one person is a Jim at umass.edu, calls Kate is the another person. So user one is Jim and so it is a call has been established to the Kate. So poly.edu domain it is registered. So is Jim is registered under umass.edu domain. So Kate is registered under poly.edu. So what is the steps are available? So you see that. So that is the steps are. It is a very easy steps. So first is so that is a so you see so the first step it is done by so it is exactly so gym machine so gym the computers so machine is not but it is a having a IP address it is configured with the 190 128.119 this is the IP address. So again Kate machine is a 197 it is a dot 87.54.21 it is a configured this IP address. So here, so there is a gem is sends the invite messages to the UMass SIP proxy servers. So this is exactly so proxy server is maintained so by the this so again, Jim, okay, sends the invite message to the so UMass proxy server has been there. So UMass, so that is exactly so that is a domain server exactly it is maintained and also a domain servers and that is a proxy server also maintained by the UMass okay domain. So that is a service provider domain. So is the domain is the UMass SIP proxy server. So it is a second step as and when send invite messages to the UMass so SIP proxy server. So this proxy server internet sends so the invite messages to that. So that is a poly SIP register. So it is a SIP register. It's again it is a server like So UMass proxy forward the request, invite messages request, who is exactly it is sent by the Jim. So exactly forward that request messages or invite messages to the poly register server. So this poly register server, so it is a returns again. It is a response will be sent. So what is a response? It is in the third step. So poly server returns the redirect response, indicating that it should be a try. So you can try with the Kate. So Kate at euro.com. So euro.com, it is one of the SIP register. So in my, so that is a register, it is not available. So your requested invite messages, it may be available in the Kate euro.com. So that is a so that is a register, it is available. It is sending a request via again UMass SIP proxy. So it is exactly search in the in this register, in that is a register server. In this register, requested invite message is not available. So this is immediately respond back. So to the again it is a where exactly it is sending UMass SIP proxy. So it is a poly SIP register server will immediately respond back to the UMass SIP proxy server in the third step. Again, it is a so as and when receives this redirect response indicate that you try in that this register. So this register server. So in the euro.com SIP register, your information is available. Like it is a redirecting messages will be sent to the UMass SIP proxy server. So again, UMass SIP proxy server in the first step. So it is a forward the request. Your invite messages again forward to the euro.com register server. So you can see that in the fourth step. So your invite message, so request has been forwarded to the euro.com registrar server. In the registrar server, again it is examines. So that is a again it is a euro.com registered forward the invite messages to the what is exactly invited messages has been sent, that has been forwarded to the that is a Kate. Okay, forward the invite messages of that is a Jim. So that invite messages has been forwarded. So this is exactly IP address. So IP address, so which is running in the Kate SIP client. So this is the IP address. So it is exactly establish the connection 197. This is exactly Kate IP address. So that is the invite message has been sent by that is a Jim. So it is forwarded to the this is exactly the this machine. That machine has been configured with IP address 197.87.54.21. This is a Kate machine, so which is running on the Kate SIP client. So SIP client is running on here. SIP client application is running on here. It is forward. So the invite messages was exactly sent by the Jim invite message. Invite message, what exactly it contains, you already know that. So what is exactly the IP address of the Jim, and what is exactly the encoding format of the Jim, and whether it is what is the IP address is also sharing the by the Jim. It is these invite messages has been it is sent by the this registrar server of euro.com SIP. Okay, first search in the poly SIP, it is available. So whether it is available or not, it is not available. It is redirected to the via intermediate servers. Again, UMass SIP proxy server is the intermediate server. Via it is you search in the one more server. It is a euro.com SIP registrar server. So your information may be available. This once it is this SIP client, so that is Kate information is available in this server. So definitely, so it is again it is you see that when the Kite is interacting, so that is SIP client. Once it is received the invite messages by the Kate machine, the Kate, so it is sends. Okay, so in terms of 6 responded, 200 OK messages will be sent. It is accept messages, SIP response return to the Jim. And so 6 and 7 and 8. So in the step number 6, 7 and 8, so response messages, SIP response messages contains 200 OK response. Your encoding format is accepting. Your this your 200 OK. 200 OK is nothing but I am agreeing to establish the call. So that is the messages. Again, it is delivered back in the 6 and 7 and 8 step. So back to the Jim. So Jim is also, so what is encoding in the agreeing format. It is a response format. It is also contains. So it is what is the IP address used by the Kate kth IP address and kth encoding format, and also that is a support number. It is communicated so by a kth to the gym. So that messages has been invited in the form of a so eighth step. So again, it is acknowledgement that has been sent. So establish the call. Data flows between the clients. Here it is acknowledgement is delivered back in the ninth step. So once it is acknowledgement, so establish the call between the so gym and K, and it is so encoding format. Both the persons are encoding formats and IP addresses are communicated. So establish the call. So it is a conversation is possible till terminate the so connections by any one of the so either gym or K. So conversation is possible. So that is the way. So set up the call. So via so SIP registrars. So register is the servers. So it is a, and also the intermediate servers, how exactly it is a, so it is a established, so it is a first take the invite messages and forward it to the, so it is a SIP registrars. So it is a server SIP registrar where it is a domain names are registered. So domain name it is a, so how it is a domain name, it is understand, and it gives the dynamic IP address. This is the IP address is it is exactly, so it is a connectivity is given by this domain name, and IP address will be provided. So conversions will be done by this registrar. Okay, SIP it is a domain name registrar having understand this so domain name and gives the IP address, and it is given invite messages will forward to that. So that is a kth so systems SIP client. Okay, it is a SIP client application. It is forward. So it is how this is the way data flows between the so SIP. One of the client it is a Jim and Kaint. So it is established the calls, and that is a conversation is possible. So again it is a comparison with the H2. That is a format. So it is another signaling protocol for real-time interactive so multimedia. So it is another format is H3.23. So this is a complete vertically integrated suite protocols for multimedia conferencing and signaling with the registrar and patient control transport codes. It is codecs. It is possible with this format. And SIP is a single component, works with the even works over the RTP protocol also, but does not mandate so use RTP protocol. Even other protocols, similar protocols can also be used. So with the RTP, RTCP, it is can be combined with the protocols and services. And the H3.323 it become from again IT telecommunication union telephony. So it is internet over the internet. It is possible. So using this H2.3 and SIPs session initiation protocols comes with the IETF International Engineering Task Force and borrows so much of its concept of HTTP protocols, and SIP as a web flavor. So it is a H3 as a telephony flavor. So it is a session initiation protocols. It is runs over the web is nothing, but it is over the internet. It is a runs, and but it is a so H3.3. This exactly it is runs in telephony. So over the telephone calls it is runs, and SIP uses again it is a case principles. Keep its spine stupid. So that principle. So that is exactly it is uses. So I think that's all about the comparison with the so H3.23. So summary of this class. So in this class, so we have discussed about the SIP examples and SIP name translation and user location, SIP registrar and SIP proxy server how to be useful in as an intermediate servers between so one so client SIP client with other client, and with examples, and how to set up the call. So between so that is a detailed so steps of 1 to 8 steps we have also learned. So the comparison with the H3 to two formats. So I think that is a so we have discussed in this class.